You open the fridge. You pour cold milk into a glass. You drink it. The whole thing takes about 4 seconds, and you don't think about it once. Do that same thing 10,000 years ago, as a grown adult, and your body would have treated that glass like a mild poison. Cramps, bloating, hours doubled over. Long before the first person could order a latte, being an adult who could drink fresh milk was almost unheard of. For nearly the entire history of our species, no grown human on Earth could drink a glass of raw milk and feel fine. Here's the strange part. The ability to digest milk as an adult is not the natural state of a human being. It's a mutation, a genetic accident, and it showed up so recently and spread so violently that scientists still argue about how it happened at all. This is the story of a gene that should never have existed. So let's start with your own body. You were born able to drink milk. Every baby is. Your gut makes an enzyme called lactase, and lactase is the only thing that can break down lactose, the sugar in milk. But lactase was never built to last. In almost every mammal on Earth, the body switches it off after weaning. The kitten, the calf, the wolf pup, they all lose it. Because milk is baby food. Nature has no reason to keep the machinery running once you're grown. And for hundreds of thousands of years, you were no different. You drank your mother's milk. Then your body closed the door, permanently. Then, about 9,000 years ago, everything changed. Humans started farming. They domesticated cows, sheep, and goats. And suddenly there was milk everywhere. A fresh, renewable source of calories walking around on 4 legs. There was just one problem. Almost nobody could digest it. We know this because of a scientist named Richard Evershed. His team analyzed more than 13,000 fragments of ancient pottery, pulled from over 500 sites across Europe. They found milk fat soaked into pots dating back nearly 9,000 years. Milk was everywhere. But when they checked the ancient human DNA from the same era, the gene for digesting it barely existed. Think about that for a second. For thousands of years, humans milked animals they physically could not digest. So how did they survive it? They cheated the chemistry. Roughly 7,000 years ago, in a region of Poland called Kujawia, farmers were making something strange. Clay pots riddled with tiny holes. For decades, archaeologists had no idea what they were for. An archaeologist named Peter Bogucki suspected the truth, and chemists in Bristol finally proved it. Those holes were strainers. The pots were the oldest known cheese-making equipment on the planet, and this is the trick that saved them. When you ferment milk, or strain the solid curds away from the watery whey, bacteria eat most of the lactose before you ever do. Cheese and yogurt are just milk with the poison quietly removed. Your ancestors didn't understand a single word of that. They just noticed that the runny stuff made you sick, and the aged stuff didn't. Not invented, stumbled into. But here's the part the story usually skips. If cheese already solved the problem, why did anyone evolve to drink raw milk at all? The answer is dark. When a lactose-intolerant person drinks fresh milk, the undigested sugar floods into the gut and drags water in behind it. The result is diarrhea. Most of the time, that's just miserable. But during a famine, or a plague, when your body is already starving and fighting infection, losing that much water isn't miserable, it's fatal. And that flipped a switch. Evershed's team argues that in those crisis moments, the rare person born with the mutation, the one who could drink milk without losing water, simply survived, while the people around them died. His colleague, Mart Thomas, called it turbocharged natural selection. The mutation didn't spread because milk was tasty. It spread because famine and disease killed almost everyone who didn't have it. Here's what's wild about that. The most ordinary drink in your fridge exists because of thousands of years of starvation and death, quietly editing the human genome, one funeral at a time. Now here's something that doesn't make sense until you think about it. You'd assume the great herding peoples of the world, the ones who live on animal milk, must all carry this gene. They don't. To this day, most herders across Central Asia are lactose intolerant. They live on horse and camel milk their entire lives, gallons of it. The secret? They ferment nearly all of it. They never needed the mutation because they solved the problem with a bucket and a little time. The gene for drinking raw milk isn't the reward for herding animals. It's a strange accident that first appeared near modern Ukraine around 6,000 years ago and rode across the continent with migrating tribes. Most of humanity never got it. Most of humanity still can't drink raw milk today. So look at the whole shape of it. For hundreds of thousands of years, your body shut milk off on schedule. Then farmers filled the world with it and couldn't drink it. So they turned it into cheese to survive. Then famine and disease swept through and killed the ones who couldn't handle the raw stuff. And out of all of that death, a broken gene, a switch stuck in the on position, quietly became normal. You poured that glass of milk in 4 seconds. You'll forget you even drank it by lunch. But the only reason it didn't hurt you is that thousands of years ago, in a world of starvation and plague, your particular ancestors happened to carry an accident the rest of the species never got. You're not drinking milk because humans were built for it. You're drinking it because the ones who couldn't didn't survive to have children. Every ordinary glass is a monument to the ones who came before. And that might be the strangest thing hiding in your fridge.